that have water in it. It's the final day of me building this deck from scratch. What could possibly go wrong? About a month and a half ago, I embarked on building this new deck because the one that I had before was too small. I needed to make it about a foot wider so it could support my hot tub. And to make things extra exciting, I had a party in my diary for my birthday that had been planned for 4 months. So this really was a race against time. And to make things even more challenging, there was a bunch of skills that I didn't have, so I had to learn those too. In particular, I've never added a pergola before. That was new to me. And although I was a bit worried that I wouldn't be able to make it strong enough, the difficulty I had taking apart the old one leads me to believe that it's probably going to be okay. I do still have one long piece of wood left that I'm going to put at the very base of the deck to stop those sneaky rodents from crawling in. And there's one more thing for me to do today before I install the hot tub. For some reason, the piece of wood that was attached to here randomly fell off yesterday. No idea why. It must have just been a little bit loose. So I have saved it and I'm going to glue it back on. I'm doing the same here as I did on the deck boards, where I'm just adding big blobs of glue and then smudging it around with my finger to make sure that the coverage is good. If I'd have thought about it, I would have also added some glue to the other side, but I'm hoping they'll just stay. They're just going to stick. I clamped it into place. There was lots of glue in there, so lots of excess project squished out of all of the edges. So I just used my finger to clean up some of the edges. Otherwise it dries with big blobs of glue, and I didn't want that. I thought that installing the hot tub would be the straightforward bit, but turns out this was absolutely filthy. I think because I left it out to get weathered on for the rain to fall inside, it just built up loads of dirt and debris inside. So I got a magic sponge and just washed off all of the dirt, all of the grime. A little part of me really wanted to take the pressure washer to this, but my pressure washer's quite strong. I didn't know whether my hot tub could handle it. I wanted to think carefully about where to position the hot tub because, believe it or not, it's not the best if it's central because I have this big pump on the side. I want the pump to be properly supported by the deck, so I screwed it in. They have like an in valve and out valve and also a valve that puts in the bubbles. Which is the same valve you just saw me use to blow the hot tub itself back up and also the inflatable in the lid. I've just added the stop cap back onto the outlet so the water isn't going to drip out. There's also a little plug inside that I needed to close as well. I considered leaving the hot tub cover off for a few days because I think it looks quite cute without it, but I don't want to waste my money. So this is what it's for. It's to keep the heat in. And even though I think it looks better without it, and maybe my friends would have been more impressed with it without it, I mean, they don't care. There's no way they would have noticed, so it didn't really matter. So I decided to just put it on. It's quite fiddly actually. It's really hard to get on, surprisingly so. How do you think I filled this hot tub? It might not be what you expect. I have this piece of hose. This is the longest piece of hose that I've got that isn't expandable. The black one's expandable. And I need this, so I had to take it apart. I did used to have a full-length hose, which would have been much more handy for what I'm about to do, but I foolishly got rid of it when I bought my expanding hose because I thought, why would I need anything else? Well, I can tell you right now it was a mistake because that expanding hose also doesn't work with my pressure washer, so I have to use this little diddy yellow one. I feel like I don't want to spoil the surprise. I just want to let you watch these next few clips and tell me when you've worked out what it is that I'm doing here. That black piece of plastic is a long piece of cable hide. So did you guess what I was doing with this cable hide and that short piece of hose pipe? Rather than fill this with freezing cold water that has to heat up, I filled it up partially with warm water. This makes the heating process so much quicker, and I used a siphon to make it happen. I also put the lid on so it wouldn't lose any of its heat. It still will need a bit of time to heat up because the water that I'm putting in here isn't hot, it's warm. You don't want to put in water that's hotter than 40 degrees because the hot tub's only designed to go to 40 degrees and it won't like it if the water is hotter. I came back and I checked on it every so often and it was a lot quicker to fill up than I expected. I think it was maybe like an hour or two. It was really quite quick, which is impressive given that it's coming off a siphon and not from pressurised water. And there concludes our deck building project. 20 different parts, a whole bunch of skills learned, and my fair share of mistakes. But if you liked this project, don't forget to follow along, like this video, and tell me in the comments what you enjoyed most. Hold up, almost forgot about you. Very, very sneaky.